All right, let's talk with something which is a staple in all our households, which is every morning we've got people who have faith, who have religion, and they go and burn the agarbatti. For ages now, agarbatti has been a way to cleanse the air, to bring in fresh energy, start the day fresh, morning, evening as well. But now, science says that it's actually doing more harm than good. But science also says that it's doing the reverse of what you think an agarbatti is supposed to do, these incense sticks are supposed to do, which is cleanse the air. They're actually polluting your air indoors and making your lungs much worse. Now, this is extremely disturbing, but it is backed by science, so we wanted to understand some answers. So joining us to give us those answers is our guest. Let me quickly introduce. We've got Dr. Maninder Singh, pulmonologist from the National Capital Region, joining us. Good morning, Doc. Hi. Thanks so much for joining us on the program. Like I was saying, this is going to come as a hard shock to a lot of households. So I want to understand, the devil is in the details, so I want to understand the details here. What happens when you burn agarbatti or incense stick or diya or anything? I'll come to candles next, but I first want to understand what happens early morning when you are burning any incense stick at home.
So, hi, it's good to be here. Very important topic, burning of incense stick. So, as you told, it's a part of our culture, but we have to understand that anything that burns creates a smoke. Gases are released, volatile materials are released, which are bad not only for the lung but for the whole body. And it's backed by science. And it will not be easy to digest it because we have been doing it for so many years and it's difficult to break a habit. But it's time that we understand that indoor air pollution is very much damaging, or actually more damaging than the outdoor air pollution. And incense stick contributes a large amount to it.
Right. You know, I was looking into the history of agarbatti because I kept going back to how is it that we've been doing this for generations and we're only understanding this now. And like I said in the opening, the whole idea of having an agarbatti was supposed to cleanse the air. But look at the conversation we're having today, it's doing the opposite. So interestingly, agarbatti comes from the word agar wood, which is common ingredient that is making all these incense sticks as well. And these agar wood, it's a kind of wood which contributes when made in a wick form becomes an agarbatti as well. Incense sticks also very similar. They're not as, they're the fancier version, the more Gen Z millennial version of agarbattis, but they do pretty much the same job as well. But Doc, tell me this, I understand the concept of burning and smoke. And anybody who stays in the National Capital Region now, and all of us have air purifiers at home, it's a little trick that I want people to try. The minute you put your air purifier on, let it come down to a sort of agreeable below 50 sort of green zone, right? The minute you light an agarbatti, you'll see it shoot up to 600 straight. It happens always. I've tried it at home. My parents finally, did it. The list goes on. Anybody who has asthma is told by doctors not to be around them. But what exactly is the ingredient? What is it doing? And is it really, as a lot of headlines have suggested, worse than smoking?
Good point. Good point. So, if you see the ingredients, it actually varies from companies to companies, but most of it, 30% is a wooden stick or a bamboo stick. 30% will be the various fragrances attached to it. Approximately 20% will be the adhesives that you have to make the whole powder attached to the stick, and 10% will be actually damaging minerals, chemicals, resins will be there. And once you burn it, then there's a slow production of this smoke, which actually contains very damaging particles. Now, I'm going to list the medical terms, but you have to understand that they are very, very relevant in today's time. We know about particulate matter 2.5. These are ultra fine particles
Yeah.
which bypass all our air defense systems, and they go directly hit the alveoli and cause oxygen damage. Toxic gases like
Go directly in
dioxide,
your
sulfur.
bloodstream. There's nothing that can filter. Yeah.
A particular load air track can handle, but if the load increases, our defense actually fails because you're taking in air continuously, and our air defense is not so strong. Then there are dioxides, sulfur dioxides, volatile air compounds, toluene, benzene, harmful chemicals like aldehydes by the burning of the dyes which are there. Then phtalates are also there. So all these actually damage our whole body. If I list, you can go from top to bottom. They create neuropsychiatric problems. They create headaches. Carbon monoxide causes that. Eye irritation happens. Then nasal irritation, sneezing, sinusitis, asthma, go down to the heart, it causes cardiovascular risk, strokes, goes to the lung, it might even cause cancers, damages the liver, damages the kidney, goes into the blood, and even when
Oh
the
man.
particles are released into urine, it can even cause bladder cancer. So it's actually damaging the whole body, and endocrine system
Yeah,
is
yeah,
also being
but
damaged.
doc, let's just pause for a second. This is like a doomsday version of what it can do. But this, just for our viewers, this is in extreme cases. This is if you are burning, say, a bunch of incense sticks together, agarbattis, and it's burning for a really long time. Correct? Is burning one agarbatti at home, morning, evening, also as harmful?
So you have to understand our homes have actually changed. Earlier, our homes were actually having high roofs. The rooms were much bigger in size. And at that time, we were burning three or four candlesticks. So that is okay at that time. But right now, we have to do it in moderation or mild. One incense stick daily in morning and evening might not be harmful, but I don't have studies to back that statement. But it doesn't look harmful if you follow certain precautions.
I see. So you're saying because there used to be better ventilation in bigger houses, that's why it was more feasible. And that's why in temples, in churches, etc., it's still burning because they're much bigger infrastructure compared to our pigeon-sized houses these days. I think that's an important factor there. So, so tell me this. Let's move on to the other part, which is scented candles. And I'm so sad doing this discussion with you this morning because I burn. I light a candle every night. It's like a nightly ritual for me, and it has to be. It's a. I don't know what it does to my lungs. It certainly makes my head feel really nice, and it gives me really good night's sleep. So please tell me what is the problem there? From what I've understood, it's not all scented candles, but the one with synthetic scents, is that how we're supposed to see it? Or how do I tell which one is harmful and which one is not?
A scented sense is like flavored smoke. So you have to understand it's flavored, it's good for your mind, but definitely it's a smoke. And the smoke, when again done in extreme, would be harmful. And the phthalates which are there in these scented candles, they're actually mixing the various fragrances into the wax. And these are actually harmful. These phthalates are actually plasticizers and detergents, and if used in excess it is very damaging for the body. So do not lit four five candles, and do not close the room. Ventilation is more important. Another point is air purifiers do not, they just remove the particulate matters, but you need to bring in fresh air to replace all the air, that is oxygen, that has gone away. So ventilation is very important once you're using scented candles. Don't close the room and just burn it away.
So you are telling me that I can't put on my air purifier and burn a candle at the same time. It won't work.
It will be partially working. So there's a thing in our mind that we have switched on the air purifier, it will clean the air, but ventilation is not happening. So whenever something is burning, ventilation is very, very important. You have to replace the exhausted air with fresh air.
Right. So that jugaad is clearly not going to work. But then tell me, are soy wax candles better? Is that something, or when you say it's like flavored smoke, I love how you said that flavored smoke is what scented candle really is. But are there particular kind of natural fragrances that one can go for? Is there like a milder version, or are you saying it's just potato? It just depends on
So
outlook.
they say in various studies that definitely the soya, beeswax, they are little better. But again, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. We really do not know what exactly happens, and it's not necessary that anything which is organic or expensive is better. I like to say that also.
Okay. Not everything that is organic and expensive is better. So please do not burn. And you told me that definitely not burn candles and incense sticks around babies and around older people. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have to be careful that person who has any breathing problems, skin problems, or pregnant ladies and children and elderly people, we should definitely not burn at all near them. And if at all you want to burn, then do not burn in the high traffic areas of the home, like in drawing or dining rooms. Don't do that. You have a special puja room, you burn it in that isolated area in the corner, then ventilate it. Just open it after the puja is over, and so that it gets replaced, and use less number of candles if possible. And one important thing is, believe me, these customs and these religion, that use of incense stick is a time tested thing. So it's not all that bad because it creates discipline in your life. And studies have proven that if you're more disciplined and you eat better food, which is rich in antioxidants, less alcohol, which actually will counteract the adverse effects of burning candles. And these people will have less medical problems. So this is just the other side of the coin, I'm saying. So the better lifestyle is actually the take home point, not burning of candles.
Yeah. I like this balancing act that Doc has done. I'm not wanting to offend anybody over there, but I think he's right. What he's saying is that how we used to use it back then in bigger homes as a ritual and then compounded by several other sort of physical activities that back in the day people, or daily household chores that people would get into, that has changed dramatically. And because of that, our lifestyles, our house, our air quality changing. Now we've got to think about all these things. And like he said, that one maybe is fine, but do it in a ventilated room, and definitely not do it around babies and older people. So that's going to be a quick takeaway. But he hasn't answered my question. I'll try one more time. Doc, is it worse than smoking? That was the headline which I was wondering what to do with.
So I'll tell you what the science says. The science says that burning one incense stick releases 45 gram per ash material. It releases large amount of particulate matter, at least 4 times that of a cigarette smoke. But believe there's a point to it. That cigarette smoke that you do, you directly inhale the smoke into your lungs, whereas the incense stick is far away in a room, and the damaging effects might be little less. So you have to take it with a pinch
You're
of salt.
passive
Again,
smoking
we
that.
cannot just directly say it.
Ah,
Correct.
I
So
see. So the
we cannot
smoke,
extrapolate
so
it
the
like that.
smoke coming out of an incense stick is much more than that of a cigarette, but you're passive smoking that and not this. That's a good thing to remember next time you light up a candle and or light up an incense stick. Thanks so much, Doc, for joining us with that very easy to understand and also very balanced view. Thanks.